Alright guys, check it out. We got our Volk Metalcraft toe arms in so we can finish that up. And I went to pick and pull over the weekend. I don't know if they got a pick and pull everywhere. I know they got like a pull apart and things like that where you go in and it's like a junkyard, you go in and get your own, pull your own stuff. But there was a 2G GSX in there. Someone already had taken all the all-wheel drive stuff, so someone's probably got a GST they're doing an all-wheel drive swap on. But most of the motor was there, and I wanted to take the whole motor, but I was driving my 3G Eclipse, so I wasn't going to be able to haul the motor. So instead I just took the head and the whole turbo. I wish I would have grabbed more stuff, but whatever. It's always nice to have extra 4G63 parts. And the head looks pretty good. You know, it's got a bunch of dirt and dust in it from sitting out there. Someone had already taken the valve cover and they took the cams, but you know, all the lifters are in here, all the springs are in here. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on real quick. Alright, we've got the toe arm installed. Man, it's looking so good. All of Volk Metalcraft's parts under here. Oh yeah. That pretty much wraps it up for the rear end, other than the brake caliper, brake line, and the strut. So let's move on forward. I gotta get rid of the rest of that exhaust, take this heat shield off, and then we'll put the brackets on for the drive shaft and see how all that fits. Check out what I just found inside this catalytic converter. Look like corn kernels or something. Something was packing away some food inside there. A little squirrel or something. Alright, rest of the exhaust is off, heat shield is down. Now we got to get this bracket out, and it's just like we did on the GSX. We got to drill out all the little spot welds, take it out, and then put this one in there. And they're actually identical. Let's see if I can hold this up there for you. They're identical. The only difference is that hanger, this hanger, and then having these two bolts for the drive shaft. So I mean, realistically, you could just undo the spot welds here and here in the middle, and maybe pull this down enough to drop a bolt in that hole and that hole. And then you would just have to weld the hanger in this corner, just like that, and then weld the other hanger in this spot, you know, just like that one, and then you would be good to go. You wouldn't actually have to take this whole thing off. But yeah, oh well. We're gonna put this one on, and then we can bolt the drive shaft on, because then that will tell us exactly where this bracket goes, because it should go right in here. Let's see. Yeah, it should go up in here, something like this. Something like that. Yeah. But we'll get that figured out, the exact placement, once we get the drive shaft up in here. I was just sitting here messing around with this bracket, seeing where it would kind of fit, and I noticed this bracket has a big hole right there, and then there's this big hole right here on the body, and so I just lined those up like something like that, and Get that over there. Come on, you were just doing it good for me a second ago. So you line that hole up, and then on this side, it actually lines up with all those spot welds right there. You know, all those line up, and then there's actually two there as well, if you can see them. And those line up. So really, you could probably just go off of that. You don't need to get the drive shaft in here to find the placement, because it all just lines up. I mean, there's no spot welds for those ones there. Yeah. Alright, we got the front bracket on, welded up, ready to go. It was such a pain. I spent hours on this. And yeah, I mean, my welds look like a 4-year-old did it, but I promise you, I did it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of welding upside down. You know, I probably could have got away with, you know, just welding in the spot welds and been fine, but I went the extra mile and, you know, welded all the way around just so I know it's extra secure and, you know, I can hang on this thing. It ain't going nowhere. So it's not pretty, but it'll work. So next is we got to do this rear bracket. So I'm going to get the drive shaft and we could test fit it in here, see exactly where this bracket's going to go. But like I said before, I'm pretty sure it'll just line up with these spot welds. But I'll just make sure so you guys know. And we have a drive shaft, kind of. So I got it up in there, got the front just on a jack holding it up. Got it bolted into the diff. Got it bolted into the front bracket, and whoa, Jesus. So the placement of our front bracket was right on. You know, everything lined up just fine with that one, so that's good news. Now I don't know how I'm gonna be able to push this bracket up and show you that the spot welds do line up, so you can go off of that, but we'll give it a try here. Oh crap, this thing is heavy. But you can see the spot welds, they all line up with the bracket on the drive shaft where it's supposed to be. Oh god. So yeah, you can go off of just these factory spot welds here. If I would have thought about it, I should have cleaned all this off before I got this up in here, so I could just hold this up in place, get some tacks on it, and then take the drive shaft out, weld it up. But yeah, maybe I got enough room to get the wire wheel in there. Yeah, we'll see. So next thing is we're gonna get this bracket welded up in there, and then we should be done with the drive shaft. Yeah. Alright, we got the rear bracket welded in. Got the front one, the rear. Went ahead and sprayed it just so we don't get no rusty crusty going on.
Eventually we're going to spray this entire underneath here with that truck bed lining like we did on this back half. But got her up there, welded all in. You know, welds still aren't pretty on the front. So let's go ahead and bolt up this drive shaft and see how she looks. Alright, the drive shaft is up in there. Look at that. Sweet. Let's get up here. Got her all bolted in. Let's see. Oh yeah. Obviously I got the front held up there with the jack jack stand because there's no engine and transmission and transfer case to hold that end. So, but she's all in there, all bolted up, everything lined up perfectly. And we got it bolted to the diff, bolted to that bracket, and bolted to that bracket, and everything lined up just perfect. If I got any tips from doing this, it would be try and get this bracket welded in before you put this gas tank in, because getting up in here and getting these welds in was a super pain with this gas tank and trying to grind that all down. I had to take my Dremel with that little like extendy wand to get down in here to grind all this down. But that would be my one tip, is to try to get this bracket welded in before you put the gas tank up. But yeah, so next it will be actually rebuilding this drive shaft. I've already got a whole new hardware kit, you know, all new bolts and nuts, and I've got the Lobro joint kit, and the only thing I'm waiting on getting is these the carrier bearings, and then my yoke kits. I'm still waiting on those to come in, and then when those come in, we'll be rebuilding this whole drive shaft.
Alright guys, so we got that drive shaft installed. I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm not confident with my welding skills, so I'm really happy that everything actually lined up and went in exactly how it was supposed to, and it seems really secure, so I'm happy with it. I'm glad it worked out. So if you're doing a GST to GSX all-wheel drive swap, basically you'd be done. I mean, other than you need the transmission and transfer case, which I don't have because I'm going a different route with putting the Evo motor in there. But if you're just a guy or girl that's doing the GST to GSX all-wheel drive swap, if you've followed my previous videos up till now, you'd be done. All you need is the transmission transfer case and your all-wheel drive swap is complete. So if you haven't checked out the previous videos, you can hit that link up here to continue on to the next video, where I hope we're rebuilding that drive shaft. If I ever get my carrier bearings, that video will be up here. And if you're enjoying the videos, maybe hit that subscribe down there. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.